Hi, this is Pastor Ken, and there's a topic that I really don't want to talk about, but I think we need to talk about it, and that is called socialism. We are seeing the election of mayors in cities, major cities in the United States that classify themselves as socialists. So I'm going to address that topic, and I'm going to begin with a scripture. 2 Thessalonians 3:10. Now if any of you would not work, neither should he eat. King James Version. So socialism produces work dodging, lazy behavior, slothfulness in the book of Proverbs. In fact, I did a couple messages on slothfulness. Just go to my search box and type in slothful. It's kind of the King James language for laziness. So socialism is like, now these are my analogies, is like hitchhiking. Now I remember as a youth going places hitchhiking, and the car that I got into was not my car. I did not pay for the gasoline. I did not pay for the insurance of the car. And when I left the car, there was no remuneration given to the individual. Hitchhiking. I got a free ride. Now, I didn't do too much of that, but I did enough of it to know that I paid nothing into the system. And yet, I got a free ride. Socialism is like the magic of Santa Claus on Christmas morning for a child. Now, who wouldn't want to get up in the morning and look under a Christmas tree and see gifts? Gifts that were designed especially for me, the child. And they were free. And there was great excitement unwrapping the paper to expose the gift, knowing that it came from this mysterious figure called Santa Claus. In the same way, socialism is like a Santa Claus every day for many people. And the third analogy I use is like squatters in luxury. Squatters in luxury. So a squatter is someone who just moves into a place that is vacant or abandoned, or perhaps persons away on vacation. And they decide to live there. They have no right to it. They didn't pay a dime for any of the structure or the taxes or the electricity or anything at all. And they just decided that they will take it over. But it's not an abandoned building. It's not a dump. It's luxury. Squatters in luxury. So as you can see, I'm not advocating socialism at all. Now let's talk about the different aspects of socialism. The first one I'm going to talk about, is one you're familiar with, is socialism by government. Now you have socialism by government giving these free things to its own citizens. But you also have socialism by government giving free things to outsiders or non-citizens. Now we observed this recently in the last several years of this incredible influx of individuals from poor countries existing in the midst of a prosperous America, and people scratching their heads saying, how can that be? How can that be? And I was one of them, because the church that I was serving in a city, one day, several individuals from the country of Haiti showed up. And several, I think maybe 10 or so, were living in a house just a few blocks down from the church. And I was scratching my head. How can that be? This is the poorest nation in the world. And there's an entire house of these individuals. And they are existing, they are eating, they are getting around and so forth. And so I was one of the ones that was scratching my head. Well, socialism by government. And at that particular time, a lot of cards were issued with credits on them, and a lot of expenses were waived and paid for, so that we had an enormous sum of individuals from other countries living and being sustained through government. Now, of course, we're seeing the nightmare right now of I just saw a pun there on mayor, mayor of the city, nightmare. We're seeing the nightmare of individuals who are here illegally being deported. And that's another topic, I'm sure, that will cause a great deal of dissension in our land. It already has. But we are already seeing socialism by government here in our land. Not to mention the incredible amount of socialism already shown to individuals of our own land. Section 8, for example, is an individual paying maybe 25% of the rent, and then the government paying the other 75% of the rent, or even possibly working towards home ownership. Now, if you're paying full-time on your mortgage, this should shock you that those individuals who are on Section 8 can and do work and labor towards home ownership, whereby the ratio, I believe, is 25% the individual and 75% from government. So we have socialism by government. We have socialism by parents. This is an incredible thing today, whereby the parents will be the source. The parents will buy it for the child, no matter what the age is. And the parents will take care of it. In fact, we see an incredible amount of adult children in our land. We see an incredible amount of adult children who are 30 to 40 years of age, still living at home with their parents. The parents will buy it for them. The parents will give it to them. They need not work. Mom and dad will both take care of me. Adult children. Nothing like when I grew up, whereby in my generation, folks could not wait to get out from under parenthood. Folks could not wait to get out and get on their own, hopefully around age 18 or 21 at most. Now today, many children are refusing to take responsibility for their own life and go out and be on their own, so they remain at home. And they may remain at home for many years to come. Socialism by grandparents. Now, I know of several specific instances where grandparents will buy a grandchild a brand new car. I didn't own a car until age 21. And it was only because I bought it. So socialism by the family, now you probably never thought of these things. And then socialism by nonprofit organizations. Now I know I'm getting into a little bit of trouble here right now, because many people might say something like, well, his heart is hardened, and churches where he was at, they never assisted or helped anybody. That is not true. I served churches for 42 years, and indeed, many of the churches that I served in, some form of assistance was given to some individuals at some particular points of time. So socialism by nonprofit organizations. Now the first thing that we hear is when there's job shutdowns and tough times, we always hear about the community food banks and nonprofit organizations picking up the slack. Now I understand that. But what I'm saying is there's people out there that can get dependent upon these nonprofit organizations, and yes, even the church. And I think I may have told you this story in my first church. There was a committee that was appointed to assist individuals, and we had one man who had a wife and 2 little children, maybe age 6 and 8 years of age, and constantly was coming asking for help. And one of the members of the committee would come to me and kind of